had a minor casualty. This is my brake cleaner bottle now. It's got its mind of its own. So when you pump it up now, it just starts going off. You don't want to waste brake clean. It's a valuable commodity. Well, welcome back to the RS001 Group S Audi Quattro build, AKA Grumpy. So it's been a good couple of weeks since we've been working on the car, and we've actually made quite a lot of progress. And all the prop shafts are in the car now. We've got the transmission tunnel in, the fire system's sort of 75% finished. That's all plumbed up into the back of the car now. The steering rack's in the vehicle now. We've finished off the brake hoses to the back of the car now. We've got solutions for oil pipes. So we've been quite busy over Christmas really. So it's been really enjoyable. It's a good time of year, you know, not much is going on, the weather's crap. So it's been just good to get out here and just enjoy the build really. So today we're gonna go through, we've got some more front end parts. So we're gonna start to mock up the front suspension and roll bars and stuff like that on the front of the car. I have got some special parts arriving from TurboSmart as well, so that should be good. We've also got brakes coming very soon as well, and drive shaft should be here soon as well. So really there's not, you know, I need to get some motivation up to do some wiring, I think, because that's going to be the next major job on this thing. So because you're sort of building it from inside out as well, I've got to do the plumbing for all the systems next as well. So we've got to do, I've got to get racing lines down. They're going to come down with a van and they're going to crimp some hoses and stuff like that on site. And that'll allow the water system to be all plumbed up and the oil system and stuff like that. So now we've got a solution for the pump and its oil pickup to the chassis. That's done as well. So yeah, it's just a matter of coordinating things and just slowly getting through it really. So enjoy. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Oh yeah, we had a recent comment. My wife come in and she asked, where's the mill? And I pointed to the mill. And then she goes, I was reading the comments on your YouTube channel and Ashley Ainsworth, a good friend, said, clean your bloody mill, Dave. And of course, so she come in and she cleaned the mill for me. So it was quite good actually. So if you could just mention Ashley about the lathe, and also my car needs a clean as well. We could probably get that done before next video as well. So, you know, just drop a little comment, that'd be good. Right, well, we've actually done quite a lot in here. So all the transmission tunnel is fitted to the vehicle now. And under here is the prop shaft for the rear differential and the input shaft for the gearbox. This is all chrome moly steel, so it's very impact protection for the parts that rotate round, so we should be okay with that. Here we've got a yaw sensor for the Bosch ABS system, and this is meant to be in the center of the gravity of the vehicle of the car. So this will basically detect if the car's going sideways or anything like that when the vehicle's under brakes. And then that will then synchronize the wheels to keep the car more stable and sort of brake in more of a straight line. And this is really important, this as well. And this will also be good for the data logging on the Motec system as well, because that'll be linked up to the Motec logger as well. So we could look at how much G-force we're creating as we're going around corners, accelerating and braking and stuff like that as well. Handbrake's all plumbed up as well. As you can see, all the hoses are in, etc. And we've got a built-in launch control button here as well. And so normally what I do when you start a vehicle like this, because it's all four-wheel drive with a lot of prop shafts and stuff like that, that have to take up slack, you traditionally pull on the handbrake slightly, and then that'll stop the car from rolling. Press the launch control button, you could mash the gas pedal, and then that will allow the engine ECU to only open the throttles to say half on the engine, and then it'll build boost pressure, and you can normally lift the clutch slightly. So that will then take out all the free play in the drive line. So you kind of sometimes hear it when you're actually in the car as well. It sort of goes, you know, click, 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 and like preloads and tensions the vehicle up. And then when you want to go, you just basically flick your foot off the clutch, release the handbrake and the launch control device, and then the car will just shoot off like a rocket. And you'll actually see this in some of the World Rally cars. They also do this. You see them like brrr, and they like squat. They squat down because they're all like preloaded and they're all sort of ready to make crap happen, really. So it's really good. And then it's just touch this, pull through the gears, and away you go. Because the Pikes Peak car, when that launches, you're doing like 1.5 G off the line. So it's really good fun. It makes you giddy in the stomach when you launch. So that'll be a good little thing to sort of, it just allows you to have a consistent power level each time you launch. And what we'll also be able to do as well is the keypad up here will then be able to adjust different launch RPM levels as well. So if we see that the road's a bit slippery and whatever, you could have a very low RPM launch, soft launch. And then if you've got lots of grip, you could up the power levels. So that's quite a good thing, that. All the fire systems plumbed now, so that goes all up the back. So that's all sort of, doesn't really need to be seen. Here's the connection for the dashboard. So on the dashboard, it's going to have a T-piece round about here. And then this will come down to some nozzles on driver and passenger side there. We've also finished the gearbox pressure sensor installation as well. So now that's got a different fitting on it and different pipe. And at EPS, I also make my own sensors. So we do a temperature sensor, which is a miniature version, and that's only like an M6 sensor, and that'll register the actual gearbox temperature of the vehicle as well. So that's a nice little installation. It just screws into the side of the block. That's a fitting into the side of the gearbox. And then off that block as well, that goes around to the pressure sensor in the bottom. So we could read the gearbox system pressure and also the temperature of it. So we could then, really what I need to do is, I haven't got an oil cooler on the actual gearbox at the moment because I don't really want to add one if I don't have to. So it's probably going to be a matter of a bit of testing, really. So I need to probably run the car for, you know, the proper power level and stuff like that, and then just see how hot the actual gearbox is going to get. I may get away without, you know, not using it. So I'd rather not have a gearbox oil cooler on it and hoses and extra weight, and no point carrying passengers, is it? So if we can get away without it, we will. So, but in the meantime, we just got like a little loop between the oil hoses that go to the potential oil cooler. So yeah, and also as well, we've got a steering column. So steering column's fitted to the vehicle now. It's only loose at the moment, and the main reason for that is it's still adjustable at the moment, but this will all come back out once we finalise the actual driver position and steering wheel position that's in the vehicle as well. So because I'm Scotty No Mates here at EPS, I use this little cable tie trick to help me along the way. Because you need to be in two places at once when you build a car, you need to be in here holding this, and you also need to be out there holding it onto the actual steering rack as well. So all I do is just cable tie this up. That allows the steering rack to be held in place, and then I could just go on the outside and just connect it all to the rack and stuff like that. So yeah, it all seems to work quite well. So all the brake systems plumbed up on the outside now to the reservoir as well. So all these dash 3 pipes, I've had to have this apart and then just change the fitting. So we've got to dash 3 instead of dash 4 that these come with. So we've got front brake, rear brake, and clutch pressure. And also as well, believe it or not, this is actually a standard part. This is probably one of the only standard parts of an Audi quattro on the vehicle. and it's the wiper mechanism. So that's all fitted to the vehicle now, but I've actually changed the motor. That's actually off something else that I bought off eBay, and yeah, that works quite well. It's off a newer car, so not quite quattro, but that bit's quattro. So some bits are. Right, these are the studs that we're going to use to retain the front suspension arms. So these are just a double-ended stud with a fine pitch and a coarse pitch that are going to the chassis. And then we've got three adjustments in the actual chassis as well. And that will allow the front steering arms to be adjusted. And what that'll allow you to do is adjust the roll center of the front of the car. And that basically just changes the angle of the top ball joint and the chassis pickup point here. And that will actually change the actual sort of dynamics of the vehicle really. So because we're not suspension experts, or, you know, even suspension experts, you know, will also say if you can build in chassis adjustments or like adjustability into the chassis, then, you know, it's more than welcome, you know, all the time really. And that's kind of what we've done here. So because we don't know how it's going to perform and what's going to be the dominant end of grip level and stuff like that, this will allow us to adjust it really. So, and then we could also adjust things like anti-dive for when the vehicle's under braking, and anti-lift as well for when the vehicle's under acceleration. So if it's doing one more than the other, we can kind of, you know, fine tune it really, just so we can get the most out of the tyre. So yeah, that's kind of what we've got to do really. So, but these studs should be handy because what we're going to do is we've got a set of shims that basically go in behind the actual arms, and those shims I just buy from Audi, to be honest. So they can go in behind the arm, and that can actually adjust the camber and caster of the actual wheel itself. So all I've done at the moment is I've got a 1.6 mil shim that I'm going to put in all of the actual pickup points before the arms go on, and then that'll be a base. Because when I had the chassis built, we put the artificial wheel already at a certain camber angle, and that was the same each side. So we've then made the pickup points and all the chassis so that it's in like a bit of a neutral position, you know. And then I also went through and then put extra spaces on it, and then we then had to measure up to make the actual drive shaft lengths the correct length before the drive shafts got manufactured as well. So yeah, there's so much you've got to consider when you're building a full drive system, or you know, like an adjustable, well, race car really. So yeah, that's about it really. So yeah, and we've got new rack ends and stuff like that as well. So we'll put all those on today as well. So these are the tie rod ends for the to turn the vehicle. So nice and new, and we got some brand new crush washers. So, and these will basically allow the outer arms to be sort of held on nice and secure. So yeah. Just need to find out what size it is. Oh, look at that. Thing doesn't fit in the thing because of the washer. Might need to grind this. Everything's so millimeter perfect. Things you have to do to, you know, wreck your nice good tools, you know. So, but hey, it's only a tool. We need tools for the job, don't we? Look at that. Right. Now if we move that. Take all those studs out now. That's it. Now we just need to hammer some edges over. Right, that's it. Nice rack boot. Cool. Put the studs back in for the 20th time. Right. These are the shims I was telling you about. They just sit over there like that. Like a golf. So that's it. And see to put the front end on now. I can't remember which was right and left. I'll see if you put the right arms on the right way round. That's it.
These are all from an R8, aren't they?
Yeah, these are all Audi R8, so factory arms. So they got, you know, nice strong ball joints in them, so they should do the job really. And this is where the shock absorber mounts onto the bottom. that has a little saddle that the drive shafts goes through. So I'm just gonna like temporary bolt these up for the time being, because I'm gonna have to take this bottom arm off again to allow the drive shaft to be fitted. So, but you'll get the idea anyway. So, right.
Piecing a jigsaw puzzle together.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah. But the amount of filing and cutting and fettling that you have to do for these projects, it's ridiculous. Like you kind of think that, oh yeah, this will just bolt together, this will be a 5-minute job. And then yeah, you spend all your time like just fettling, cutting little bits, and you know, and away you go really. So there's still some more bits that we have to make for the front suspension. So we still need to make a special pin that's going to go through the front tie rod end bolt here. So that has to be like quite long. So I'm going to get that machined up out of special material. So that will allow, you know, the sort of steering arm attached to the hub via the tapered joint here in a special way. It'll be nice and strong and secure, because the last thing we want is, you know, something like that sort of moving around under brakes and stuff like that really. So yeah, but that's kind of how it goes together. It's not easy putting these together, but it's what it is, isn't it? So there you go, that's the temp sensors that we make. So M6 thread. It's got the same Bosch calibration as the standard 026 sensor. So if you're into ECUs, you know what that calibration curve is. And then it's all Raychem, you know, the wire and all the bits and pieces, and it's super light. And being M6, it just allows it to be easily installed in small locations really, because you haven't got the space to put a massive sensor sometimes. So yeah, it's handy. It's like unwrapping Christmas presents when you build a car. And the DHL man comes, you get all excited because you're getting proper Christmas presents that you enjoy. You know,
Not socks.
Not socks and Lynx Africa, isn't it? Hey, but I tell you what, thank God I got a few socks this year, because a couple of these bad boys were only just holding out. Oh, they're going so nice, those do, don't they? But it's so much easier with studs.
Are they any sort of special type of stud?
They are like a grade 8.8 stud, so they're high tensile. But sometimes, I don't know, like it's kind of good to have something break. Not break, it won't break under its normal load. But if we touch something with a wheel on a, you know, a massive, I don't know, something severe, at least if this stud breaks, it ain't gonna break this chassis. You know what I mean? So it's chicken and egg really, isn't it? You could build a tank, but something's got to give, doesn't it, at some stage? So I kind of enjoy the thought that hopefully that these might break if something happens. And then if this all breaks and mangles, doesn't matter. But if this is okay, then you can just bolt some more stuff back on, can't you? So that's kind of my thought in my head. So hopefully we won't find that out sooner rather than later, but that's the plan anyway. These are so nice, these shock absorbers. So yeah, they are a thing of beauty. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Oh, Jesus. Don't scratch it. I'm gonna have to take one of those out. This is the problem when you build the chassis so tight. Getting all this stuff in once it's painted is really hard work.
Good job you have all these machines.
Yeah, 100%. It's honestly when you do stuff like this, you need all the tools really, because so many little fiddles and trimming of parts to make everything precisely fit. It just all helps really. So there you go.
Yay.
Blow away the paint. Don't worry about that, Darren. That's it. We need to done.
Looks so cool.
Did you hear that noise? That's
Snoop, wasn't it? Oh,
yeah.
There we go again.
Snoop the discount dog. Hello. What are you all doing? Right, there you go. Put that on. No. Don't feed your dog bolts, all right? See, this winds me up, this. Come around here. See, we're not quite long enough in the thread. So see that part of that's the nylon that's meant to lock it in place. So we need to just get like another 5mm longer bolt here. So back to the bolt bar at Silverstone. So yeah, it'll be right. So this bottom one needs to be long, purely because the roll bar comes along here, then we have a little drop link that goes down to here. So I haven't actually made the drop link yet, so I don't actually know how long that I need to have it. So, but it'll be fine because this has got to come apart again for like the drive shaft to go in anyway. So, but that's essentially it. So what we had to do with the front suspension and all the actual shock absorbers, these are like little keeper springs that these take up the small little bumps and get the car to ride height without the spring flopping around, because you need to have such a big spring rate for being a slick tired race car. So to get the car, when it's in build stage at its ride height, the thing will just sit fully up in the air. So what we do is take those out, and it just makes life easy really to, you know, sort of do them. So now we have to put them back in really. So to get the bushes out, you just put a bit of tape around them so you don't scratch them. So, because you need to take one off to get the spring off. So a little bit of tape, gently with your mold grips, and then that'll get one side out. Okay. Then it's got a little locking ring here that you can just take off with your fingers, to be fair. So that takes that off. Then your spring assembly falls off. And then we'll just give it a good clean. I've got another one here. So these, that's your actual bump stop as well. So that's a tunable item. So we need to make sure that when the car's at full droop, that this is in proper contact with the actual bump rubber. So it just avoids mechanical damage to the shock absorber and also the car. So that'll limit the travel of the suspension really. Everything ends up so dusty because it's just sat around in getting welded on or grinded on or whatever. So you just give everything a nice little clean anyway. So it goes on like that. And same with the front spring. That's your rate of your spring rate written there. So yeah, whether it's right or not, we'll soon find out really. So we just need to test the car and sort of go from there really. Now, one little trick is, like, obviously you got to compress this and you got to get this washer back on, but little trick that you do is if you just pull it down, then hook it underneath. That's it. Looks like a pro, don't you? Put your little clip back on. That's it, put it back together. So ready to go back together. So I might actually just put this one back into lathe and just take a little skim off this for the, so to go into the chassis, saves trying to take it back out again. So back to the lathe. Safety first. Power cuts out. Yeah, just reach that, see that one push down? That's it, good man. More coins. If you want to know how to wind a machinist up, or my dad, is you leave the chuck key in the lathe like that, because that's a massive no-no. You should not do that, because when you turn it back on for the next time and you don't know that's in there, that can fly out and really hurt someone. So you're not allowed to do that. That's bad. So always take the chuck key out. Yeah, just give me a little squeeze, make sure they're all the way home when you're in the rod end. So that's it, ready for this one to be fitted. So now, thing of beauty, aren't they? They're all set to 0 at the moment, so we'll go through and adjust those. We'll go through and adjust those as and when we want to, like, put it on track really. So Mad, you just fucking sit a couple of bits on. Makes it look like you've done a lot, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
It looks the bollocks, doesn't it? This is our mock-up steering wheel that we had for the vehicle, and it's a OMP China spec. And you could actually just grab this and bend it whichever way you want. So yeah, bend it like that. So don't buy cheap crap China steering wheels from eBay. So we only use this for mock-up because it's the same shape and same sort of fitting as what we're going to put on the car, but we have actually got a genuine one that's going to go on this. And yeah, it should be a lot more safer than this one. Right, well, we have all the front suspension 90% there on the front end. So all I've got to do now is I've got to get some different size bolts for the front shock absorbers, and then the drop links for the anti-roll bar have got to be made for the lower links. And then also I've got to make some steering knuckle sort of bolts and bits and pieces for that. So like all this stuff, nothing is off the shelf, so it all has to be made or engineered, and solutions need to be found really. So, but for me, that's kind of the enjoyable part. You can kind of, you have a little problem, you got to have a measure up, a little bit of a design, go away, have a bit of a think about it. Because sometimes you get so frustrated when you're working on little aspects of the car, you don't sort of think straight really. So sometimes it's good to just go away, have a think about it, come back, and then sort of with a fresh head, and then think of a solution from there really. And that's kind of the way it is with builds like this. And you gotta like not get daunted to buy it. You just gotta just enjoy it really, because hey, it's more fun than doing anything else, isn't it? So yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video. Next video, we'll hopefully have all the roll bar on, all the bits and pieces, and we'll probably start doing some of the fuel system on the vehicle as well. So we've got a nice fuel tank that's all FIA approved, and that's going to go on the car as well. And then we'll be getting hopefully into the plumbing and like the turbo side of things, you know, after that really. So please like and subscribe. Love the comments, the cheekier the better. They keep us all on our toes. And yeah, hope you enjoy the video.